Welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV. Shout out to our Morning Thoughts family, and if you didn't know it, we go live in the mornings on a show that we call Morning Thoughts, and that show starts around 7 a.m. and goes till 8:30. We're going to be pushing it back to 6. So we're going to start at 6 and end at 8:30. Why? Because it's going that good. So if you've been missing out, then that's on you. But just know, sir, we're dead. Anyhow, on to the real story here at hand. A triple murder took place recently in Jamaica. Yes, at this time, it is the 24th day of the first month of the year as I'm doing this video right here. And at this point, we are way past 100 murders already, only 24 days into the new year. Anyhow, this triple murder is one of those of the many murders we have had since 2022 start. So, new details are saying that the killing of 2 women and a man in a place called Bounty Hall in Trelawney is described by the police now as an unfortunate case of mistaken identity. Listener, I want you to listen to the details of how this all unfolded and then leave your comments in the comment section below. So, this one goes like this, and this was taken from theworldnews.net. It is also carried in the Gleaner and all other major news entities, but not in details like where we found these details. So 24-year-old Daniel Williams, otherwise called Alkaline, of Bounty Hall. 25-year-old Shanelia Clark, also of Bounty Hall. And 26-year-old Tache Black, of Wakefield, Trelawney. They were all shot and killed at a premises that is located at Bounty Hall known as Belgium. Now reports are that shortly after 1 in the morning, I want you to put your mind into this now. Shortly after 1 in the morning, Williams and 5 other persons, Williams is the youth we call Alkaline, the 24-year-old youth. Him and 5 other persons, including both of the women, were coming from a party when they received a phone call that the baby of one of the women that were with them had just fallen ill. So the baby gets sick. You get a phone call, you're there at a party, you leave the baby with somebody responsible, and you go out to have a couple of hours of fun, right? Normal thing what people do. So you're out partying, and you get a phone call, say, yo, your baby's sick, like the baby's sick bad, like emergency, need to go a doctor. This wasn't no small sick. So the woman then asks Williams to assist them by transporting the child to the hospital. Williams, or as he is called, Alkaline, then probably say, Alka, can we go get the baby now so we can carry the baby and drop we up at the hospital. But Williams, who is Alka, had reportedly consumed a large amount of alcohol at the party and was in no shape to drive. And him are the only person there that could drive. And at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to fan down a taxi because none are out there, especially in these times, because Jamaica still has a curfew at a certain hour. It pushed back till later, but ain't nothing popping at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? Especially not on a weekday. Anyway, so even though he was drunk, he decided to drive because it's an emergency to Belgium. But he was going to go to Belgium to a friend's house who would assist him in driving the car to Falmouth Hospital. Brother, me too drunk, but an emergency thing them say like the baby real sick, me no want the baby dead, so me I carry the car come over there, but you have to go drive the rest of the way. That kind of stuff. So they pulls up to the house, right? Going to this brethren's house who is going to drive car, him sober. Now, they had just entered the yard where the driver who was supposed to drive the car lives, when 4 armed men with high-powered weapons walked out from behind a house that was in the same yard that his house is in, and them sprayed the Voxy vehicle with bullets. Spray the vehicle down with bullet with some high power rifle. with the people in it. That's how that took place, right? That's why they went there. That's the explanation that was given. Now it looked like, say, Williams, who is otherwise known as Alkaline, Alka have a brethren where either brethren is gunman or a round gunman or somebody round brethren is gunman, but the house in the same yard. So the people them probably feel like, say, gunman pull up on them, right? Don't run up. Because if you run up, you don't know. And they thought their enemies had arrived. And their enemies were there to do them something. So them just turn it on the vehicle, not knowing that it was him. He did not relay the message apparently to everybody else like, yo, a vaccine come in, my brethren tonight, me have to go drive them, go to the hospital. So look out for that, okay? No communication was made between the guys outside and the guy inside who was waiting for his brethren for roll up so them can take the baby to, and him can do the driving and get the baby to the hospital. Sad friggin' situation, man. Now, Williams, Clark, and Black, they were all killed, while 3 other women in their 20s received gunshot wounds and were admitted in critical condition. So I know like gunshot grazed them arm and grazed them leg, or some multiple high power rifle turn on upon this vehicle at once. They got shot up, proper shot up. Commanding officer in charge of Trelawney, Superintendent Carlos Russell, revealed that based on investigations that the shootings actually stem from gang conflict and might have been carried out from men who traveled from another parish to Trelawney. In another report, which I'm going to go through shortly, it is confirmed that they are not from Trelawney. This incident stemmed from gang conflict and mistaken identity. Gangster wait pan gangster to come through, cause them get intel some man I go ride up on them spot and boom it up, and they're there ready and prepared. And so happened that these partygoers detoured and ended up in the wrong place. Russell said that the Voxy that the victims were traveling in was mistaken for another vehicle, and this led to them being killed because the Voxy with them a wait pan looked just like the one here. The senior cop reassured the residents of Trelawney that every effort would be made to bring the perpetrators of this crime to justice. The residents have condemned the incident, and Trelawney has now recorded certain amount of murders since the start of the year. And it is the second parish in Jamaica behind St. James to record triple murders. Now, over yonder now, in the Star, not in the Star, in the Gleaner. The Gleaner actually carries the deceased information as each one of them. And you know how Jamaica, they do, I don't know why they do it, but this is how they do the news. Like, they will write somebody's occupation. Like, if I got shot up because I made a wrong turn or turned up to my brethren's house so he can drive my car and take a child to the hospital, and man alighted from behind the house and shoot up my vehicle, I don't think that really has anything to do with if I was a construction worker or if I was a school teacher or if I was unemployed. But they always put that in there. So Daniel Williams, 24 years old, otherwise called Alkaline, he was unemployed and he comes from Crossroad in Bounty Hall. And then Tache Black, otherwise called Tash, was a bartender of Red Hills in Wakefield, Trelawney. And then you have Shanelia Clark, otherwise called Suki, and Suki was from Bounty Hall in Trelawney as well, right? So they gave all their description of the car, the Toyota Voxy, and their occupational status as well as their age to give you a rough idea of the what was taking place and the people that were involved. Some young 20-something-year-old people, some parents in there have children as well, went out to have a night of fun, turned into getting called that with the baby sick, you have to come in now, come do something about it, we need hospital. Ain't calling nobody at 1 o'clock in the morning and them coming, so you have to go do what you have to do, and it led them to this. See, a lot of people have a lot of stuff to say. And let me tell you what some of the people them are saying. Iceman said, how is it that the police knows all this information about the alleged shooter, but is after they kill 3 people and injure another 3 people that the police is trying to bring them in. Does this make much sense? The police have intel on displaced gunman, and is when they commit murder, they're trying to bring them in. That is total madness. In other words, he's saying displaced gunman, meaning gunmen that are usually operated in a certain area were displaced and are now operating out of another area, and the police had that intel and the police never acted on it until them killed 3 people. Right? That's what he's saying. Now, Don Mel says, if you want to know, just say something negative about the Prime Minister and you will see how quickly the police make contact with you. Jaja. The police intelligence apparatus is at play. It's called selective justice. Dully said, good question. How come they have so much information about the shooters? My advice is that they should use the information, enhance their jobs since they have the intelligence, and stop blogging and leave that to the vloggers. I saw. Ruthie says, just telling the public what they want to hear. Just like politics. Operation Chaos 1962 present said, mind-boggling. No difference from the commissioner telling us that if it wasn't for him that the homicide rate would be 10,000. So accept the 1,400 and be quiet. Total incompetent people running every area of government in Jamaica is what he said. Listen to this. This person said it's mind-boggling, and it's no different when he heard the commissioner of police. I never heard the commissioner say it, but this person left it in a comment that he heard the commissioner of police says that if it wasn't for him, that Jamaica's homicide rate would be at 10,000 a year. So accept the 1,400 that you're getting and be quiet. I'm sure he didn't say so accept the 14 and be quiet. I'm sure he put that in there. Total incompetent people running every area of government in Jamaica is what he said. How the gunman them so on the loose and so powerful, and it seemed like law enforcement is quiet or under manners. JAMAICA says, man, listen, they can only be charged for murder after they kill, not before. The best the police can do is hope to find the guns and them with it before they kill someone. This illustrates why we have to find better ways of intercepting illegal gun trafficking with a gun that most youths get a sense of power. Norman Lee says these guys have fled from the Zoso at state of emergency in Westmoreland, and that's how them end up over Yasso in a Trelawney. And then Iceman answered that and said, well, the news is circulating around. The news is that they went looking for a certain person and they did not find them, and they took out the rat on these persons right here. Logic in JA says this explanation makes sense. Since we know the gang was involved, arrest these terrorists then. That's what they are. They are terrorists. Get out of society for good. Don't put them in jail, prison, to send orders from behind bars. Lethal injection. And if only it was so. If only it was so. But we all know that all when a man get caught red-handed doing something, according to the constitutional laws that run the country, even him has to have his day in court and a chance to defend himself and have his side of the story heard. You know? So you could have round them up and do lethal injection. That sounds good in theory, but I know so it work. Not realistic. Newsflex says pure talk. Let's see what comes out of this bloody mess. And then Dolly says bad man moving around to cleanse areas and set up new territory. No passport needed from St. Catherine to Clarendon to St. James or Kingston to go to Westmoreland, Trelawney, Hanover, St. Elizabeth or Portland or elsewhere. The security forces needs to strategize an insulation sanitization package for each package. Once you sanitize it of criminals, then you secure and hold it with the assistance of the citizen or citizenry, is what he said. And chapter 1 says, since I have been to the mountaintop, I am willing to play a hero, to sacrifice my life, the rest of my life, and save humanity. I am planning a one-man war against criminals in Jamaica, and it is going to be worries. And somebody says all the best. What this a person here suggests is that he becomes a vigilante, and his job would be to go around hunting gunmen, and he just go hunt them and kill them. Why would you publish that here though? I don't know. Right? If that you gonna do, then do it, and Godspeed. I hear people saying, like the Prime Minister said, you can't fight hate and anger with hate and anger. But it looked like fighting hate and anger with spitballs and word of mouth is not working, right? The powers, the forces aren't matching up. Marlon says, why do they need to be in the countryside? Why are they there? I am desperately trying to understand how and when our beautiful countryside got corrupted. Every day someone is slaughtered. And Operation Chaos says, well, no passport needed for Haiti either. Just roll in when you're ready and do what you want to do. That's how it goes. Suggesting that criminals are also rolling in from Haiti as gunmen, hitmen, and they come in and do the job and leave, and these kind of things. For the person who is wondering why it reached country, it been their country long time, Papa. Maybe you're not paying attention to the news, but we've been paying attention closely for the past 6, almost 7 years now, and reporting on it. And I can tell you, say, Clarendon and them place they get hot long time ago now. It not just happen. So some people who left Jamaica a long time ago, and they have this romantic idea of of what certain countryside places is, and they haven't been back to Jamaica in all 10, 15, 20 years. Those are the people you might hear saying, oh my Jesus and oh my God, and how the place stand. For the rest of us who've been in touch all those years, we know and we've seen the gradual progression, right? So we know that this is a long time thing that's been happening. The guns are coming in, and man play for use them upon them one another. They just killing out each other like that with these guns that are coming in. You know, it's funny because the news headline said today that the police them found 4 guns over National Stadium. And at the same time, I clicked over to WhatsApp and I saw a video with about 4 men in the video. It's about 4 guys in the video and about 20 gun. And the man them a select up the gun them for make you know so them real, and you know showing you angles of the gun and everything to let you know that they're real. So it's funny when the law enforcement officials put front page news in the Gleaner, Star, or whatever that we found 4 gun over stadium buried. And gunman just go up on WhatsApp and say, well, we have 20 over here, so you can keep them 4 there. We not out a gun and we not shot a bullet. So you see that this is a never-ending cycle. You know, gang warfare, they ended up in the wrong area. Not the wrong area per se, but they arrived at the wrong time at the destination they wanted to go to, and things happen. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. It's a sad story. It's a sad story. And I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.